I lost this. We're in 11 honors again. Tell me about that. That's interesting. Why did you choose to do that? What was it like?
I chose to do it just because I just didn't feel there was and because obviously, I mean, you need protein. Like, I'm not like, oh, I don't need protein. It's like I ate other foods with protein
Right.
to me, but I just feel like I felt like guilty almost.
Really?
I know it's so weird because it's like some people have like times where they watch or read something and then they're like, oh gosh. I just like felt like bad because like that's pretty much, I just felt bad. And then it's just like I did it for a little bit and then I just got in the habit to where I didn't want to go back.
Did you feel physically better when you ate just vegetables?
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of energy.
What in the world would have made you feel guilty?
Yeah,
That's an odd response, I think.
I just kind of felt like I just didn't like knowing that I was, because like I always look at animals and be like, oh, they're so cute, but then like, well, I'm eating them. And
So you should feel not guilty.
right, I don't anymore. Like I'm past that. I just like for some reason felt, and it wasn't for like the whole 8 months. That wasn't how it was. It just became after a month a habit to the point where I was just so used to it that I just kept going.
And what were your parents' like reason for you?
They just didn't think it was healthy. They thought that I didn't have enough protein. And so I started eating fish, and then I started eating chicken, and yeah, that's what I do.
I've never heard anybody say that. I know that fear. I've never done it, so I'm not talking from experience. But I've just never heard anybody say that it wouldn't be healthy. Most times they argue that it's actually healthier.
My parents just thought that I wasn't getting enough protein.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
That's
sense.
pretty much it.
What do you eat to, like, where would you get protein other than meat?
I would eat a lot of eggs. Like
Okay.
a lot of eggs.
So vegans, right, are people that don't eat poultry or anything?
They only eat like vegetables. Like they don't even eat eggs.
Yeah,
Anything that comes from animals.
Right.
okay. Are they healthy? I don't really know anybody I mean, they make up for what you lose. And
They're healthy. It's just like it's really hard to eat when you're eating.
Um,
There's a lot of stuff.
yeah, it would be. I think it would be really hard. Well, that's interesting. He's all for that. In fact, later in the book, he makes this really interesting argument for not eating meat, and it's kind of compelling. How about it, Sierra?
The whole ground of human life seems to some to have been gone over by their
Predecessors.
Yeah, both the heights and the valleys and all things have been cared for. According to Evelyn, the wise Solomon prescribed ordinances for the very distance of trees, and the Roman praetors, have decided how often you may go into your neighbor's land to gather the acorns which fall on it without trespass, and what share belongs to that neighbor. Hypocrites has
Or this is Hippocrates, yeah.
Hippocrates had even left directions how we should cut our nails, that is, even with the ends of the fingers, neither shorter nor longer.
I underline that. I always thought that's one of the most interesting statements in the whole book. You know, like philosophers are making comments about that. He says, how do you cut them? Even with they would be against long fingernails or excessively short ones, but I think that's interesting. Take it or leave it, it's just interesting. Yeah.
Undoubtedly, the very tedium and anew, which presume to have exhausted the variety and the joys of life, are as old as Adam. But man's
Capacities.
capacities have never been measured, nor are we to judge of what he can do by any proceedings. So little has been tried. Whatever have been thy failures
Hitherto, yeah.
be not afflicted, my child, for who shall assign to thee what thou hast left undone?
Okay, let me read one more. We might try our lives by 1,000 simple tests. For instance, that the same sun which ripens my beings illumines at once a system of earth like ours. If I had remembered this, it would have prevented some mistakes. This was not in the light in which I had hoped them. The stars are the apexes of what wonderful triangles. What distant and different beings in the various mansions of the universe are contemplating the same one at the same moment? Nature and human life are as various as our several constitutions. Who shall say what prospect life offers to another? Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? We should live in all ages in the world in an hour, in all the worlds of the ages. Poetry, history, poetry, mythology. I know of no reading of another's experience so startling and informing as this would be. I thought it was an interesting statement. If you could look through someone else's eyes and see what they see, it would change your life. Let me read one more. Well, why don't you read it, Aurora, just that short paragraph.
The greater part of what my neighbors call good, I believe in my soul to be bad. And if I repent of anything, it is very unlikely to be my good behavior. What demon possessed me that I behaved so well? You may say the wisest thing you can, old man. You who have lived 70 years, not without honor of a kind. I hear an irresistible voice which invites me away from all that. One generation abandons the enterprises of another like standard vessels.
So we'll stop there, but we're going to get to tomorrow. We'll be working with Frankenstein, right? That's tomorrow, and then we'll get back to this on Thursday. Tomorrow's already Wednesday.